Ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'll be reacting to Mr. Bojangles being performed by Todd Snider and Jason Isbell and Amanda Shires, who we know from the Drive-By Truckers, and lastly, and maybe most important, Jerry Jeff Walker, who is the original songwriter of Mr. Bojangles. So it feels like we get all of the bells and whistles here. I most recently heard Mr. Bojangles in a full Todd Snider concert reaction I did, so if you're interested, I would encourage you guys to go check that reaction out. But when I listened to Todd Snider, I had no idea what I was in store for, but he brought the fun energy, the storytelling, and, Mr. Bojangles was one of the songs you heard, which I believe was about a homeless man going through stuff. The exact plot line is escaping me at this moment, but it's going to be interesting as well to hear Todd in the context of Jason Isbell and Amanda. I was never really expecting such a crossover because we visited plenty of Drive-By Truckers on the channel, and they also have a sort of American rock, country, casual style of performance, and I feel like the overlap with Todd and Jason in this regard would be sort of the casualness to their playing. So it's going to be interesting to hear that combination and Jerry for the very first time. So I hope you guys are excited to check this out with me. But before we do, a massive thank you goes to Gila the Reliable for this donation request and unique selection today. As always, Gila, thank you so much. But now, let's jump in.
With him, and the thing that fascinates me the most about him is that that song Bojangles, he made that up in jail, and then he came out like, when you consider the things that most people come out of jail with, it's usually not a standard, It's usually a new crime idea or a new drug addiction or a boyfriend, but it's not so seldom a Bojangles type
new boyfriend
thing. There's an expression they say you could fall in a rose bush and come out smelling, I told you to wait in the truck.
Todd is good at the crowd work, I gotta say. He's a comedian
so I
as
just
well.
gotta tell you, it's gonna sound like I'm bragging, and if I am, man, give it to me. I've been coming around long enough. I could do this just one time, maybe, I got to go do a show with Jerry Jeff Walker in Santa Fe. And after the show, we went and we closed up a bar. And when the bar got closed, we started walking back to our hotel, and there was nobody on the street. And as we were walking back to our hotel, somewhere in the distance around the corner, you could hear this.
Wow. It's immediately recognizable.
And I said, shit, Jerry, you hear that? And he said, yeah, let's go and see what it is. So we go over there. There's this old guy playing a banjo and a harmonica.
Especially that walk-up melody. This now the second time I'm hearing it, you immediately take a liking.
And I said, shit, Jerry, you hear that? And he said, yeah, let's go and see what it is. So we go over there. There's this old guy playing a banjo and a harmonica. Nobody on the street but me and Jerry Jeff. And this guy, who has no idea that Jerry Jeff Walker's even in town, is singing Mr. Bojangles at 3 in the morning to nobody. I kept waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out or something like that. I was like, I thought, did somebody dose me or something? So
why Ashton
we walked
Kutcher,
over
though?
to this guy, and we stood there, and we listened to him play Mr. Bojangles. And the whole time I was thinking to myself, should I tell this guy that this is the guy that wrote it, And then I thought, no, if he wants to tell him, he can tell him. And he didn't tell him. Right. He just stood there, he listened to the song, and when it got over, he said, that was great. And he threw a bunch of money at it. And then I thought to myself, I don't know, it must have been something I did good in a previous life, because I didn't did something in this life worth that, like the karma on that. And I was grateful that I got to be there for that moment. And if you'd indulge me, I would like to sing that song. It go like,
it is a unique moment, right? And what are the chances you're playing the song and then that person is listening to you perform it? so sweet.
I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced with one-eyed cheek, with silver hair and a ragged shirt and baggy pants.
This is beyond wholesome. He's literally there. It feels like multiple generations of just music aficionados and people who appreciate the story, the art, the legacy. It's all out on that stage.
With silver hair and a ragged shirt and baggy pants.
Wow.
He didn't wear no shoes. He jumped so high. He lightly touched down.
Kind of sounds like Johnny Cash.
Met him in the cell in New Orleans. I was down and out. It looked to me to be the eyes of age. He just spoke right out.
And Josh
He
Prine
talked
too.
of his life. He talked of life. And the laugh slapped his leg a step. He said the name Bojangles and he danced a lick across the cell. He grabbed his pants a better stance. He just floated up to the sky.
Wow, and the strings, right? Because if you feel all of these instruments together, what you gather is you get a bouncy guitar riff, you get an extremely sultry, earthy vocals from Jerry himself, and then these. I mean, I can almost hardly hear Jason, to be honest, in this context, but with Amanda's violin playing, you get these nice sweeping notes that sort of blanket the rest of the bounciness in this melody. It's just a unique combination of instruments. They all play their very distinct role.
The sky. He let go a laugh.
Jason's just playing chords as far as I can tell.
Shook back his clothes all around. He laughed because he made it. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, come on and dance.
Is he playing harmonica?
Dance with those at minstrel shows and county fairs. Throughout the South, he spoke with tears of 15 years. Our dog and him traveled about till his dog up and died. He up and died.
It's literally a ballad.
After 20 years, he still grieves. He said I dance at every chance in honky tonks for drinks and tips, but most of the time I just spend behind these county bars. I drink some beer. He shook his head. As he shook his head, I heard someone ask him, please. That could have been Todd Snider saying, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, oh, come on, dance.
crisscrossing of all these melodies. Wait, that was so heartwarming. Wow. Wow, that was actually so heartwarming. Ah, it's such a catchy song, and the riff just on guitar alone, it gives you that bounce like I was referring to. It's a beautiful melody as well, and I mean, I just think the meat and potatoes of what makes this song excuse me, shaking the rust off as I get back into filming my reactions here, but when I hear Jerry's voice, that for me is where all of the emotion lies. He has a voice similar to Johnny Cash, though I haven't listened to all that much. The one song that I did a reaction to a long while back was Hurt, and that's where I remember that very unique, gritty, earthy, raspy timbre that I really took a liking to. And also uniquely, I'm reminded of this other artist named Mark Lanigan, I believe. Is that how I pronounce it? Or Mark Lanigan? I also did a handful of reactions to Mark a long time back, and if I remember correctly, he also had a very earthy voice, and there's something about that quality that just does something for me. And when you stack on top of it again the bubbly guitar melody and these sweeping notes on the violin, it's not a combination that like is typical, I would say, especially if you listen to your average rock band. I think a lot of us, we come from the rock background, at least if you live in my world. So when I hear this kind of more stripped down arrangement, it feels really, really homey. It's as if I'm listening to them playing in my living room and we're all just, sharing a drink by the fireplace. I really like it, and I wanted to make sure I had the meaning of this song, the interpretation correct. Can you guys see it on my screen? Maybe not. Forgive me as I get used to my setup again. But here, according to Google AI, Todd Snider's Mr. Bojangles is not a different song, but rather Snider's version of the classic ballad written by Jerry Jeff Walker, which it was amazing to have them both together there on stage. The meaning of the song is based on Walker's encounter with a jailed, homeless street performer in New Orleans who went by the name Mr. Bojangles. He told stories and danced to lighten the mood, but the song also reflects on his sadness over losing his dog, which is a central and poignant part of the ballad. And I'm glad they also kind of refer to it here as a ballad because it does feel very somber at times, even though there is that like upbeat bounce that feels very just happy-go-lucky. And I guess, you can have both in a ballad. The song's meaning, a reflection on hardship and resilience. The song explores the life of a man who uses his talent to survive and find joy despite his difficult circumstances. The sadness of loss, highlighting the enduring pain of losing a loved one, with Mr. Bojangles still grieving his dog after 20 years. I mean, this right here, all dog owners and dog lovers, I can't even imagine this level of pain. I've never had dogs myself. My girlfriend and her family, they have dogs who I love tremendously. I will spend so much time just petting them and, not doing things that I should be doing because I'm busy enjoying time with their dogs. So losing them would be just devastating. And I can totally imagine grieving that loss for decades as was done here with Mr. Bojangles. And then lastly, the influence on musicians. For Todd Snider, hearing the song and its story was a pivotal moment that inspired him to become a songwriter himself, recognizing the value in telling a personal story. I think that's just the perfect way to kind of bookend it because we had on stage all of the different generations. We literally have Jerry, who created that song, told that story, and impacted Todd, who is now on stage singing it, performing it with Jerry. It is literally a full circle moment born out in the form of song, dance, performance. It was so lovely, so wholesome, and a great way to start off my day. So thank you very much, Hila, for the request. I hope you all did enjoy the reaction. If you want to request one yourself, whether it's more Todd, more Jason, more Jerry, whatever it is, you can use the first link in the description box below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.